See, this is the reasons why I tell y'all that I'm not left. I'm not right. I am not a registered voter. I do not trust the system. And I'm just a guy that gives you his opinion on certain things that happen in this country. I'm more of a conservative minded person, but I am not MAGA. Okay? I am not an activist either. Okay? I don't choose these sides like this. There's certain things that politicians and different people talk about that I agree with, and certain things that I don't. Period. No matter what side they're on. There's certain things I'll be like, okay, well, that sounds good. Let's do it. And there's certain things, on the other side. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Let's do it. But I may not agree with that. And I got to tell you, with what has happened over the past few days with this woman being shot, with the amount of people that I've seen on the right claiming she deserved it, she should have got it, all this other stuff. It's almost, not almost. It's almost. I didn't mean to say not almost. It's almost very similar, but not as bad as what happened when Charlie Kirk was slain. He was dancing in the streets, celebrating and everything. This is more of a matter-of-fact, cold, law of the land type of response that the right seems to be doing. Not all. Just some of the responses that I've seen, I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Some of these people are cold as hell. Now, there's a new video that came out this morning. And in this one, you can see that for like 3 minutes, she pulls up and she's blocking the road and she's dancing in her car, beeping the horn, antagonizing them and everything. So she's blocking traffic. And I told y'all before I go to the root of the issue. First of all, she shouldn't have been there. Okay? She shouldn't have been there. Some people think it's a flex to flex their freedom of speech, to flex their right to protest. I think you should pick and choose when you want to express all of that. And the reason why is because the nature of the beast is still human. See, you might be messing with the people with the guns that day and they might not do nothing to you. But you might be messing with the people with the guns that day and they decide to say, this job. And just because you might be on the right side of the law, it's your right to talk all this trash and do this and do that. They might be having that one bad day that pushes them over the edge and makes them miscalculate and do something they should not have done. Like I said before, she shouldn't have ran and he shouldn't have shot. I do not think that he should have shot her. And in the video that I was reacting to yesterday, I think it was the last one. I think it was the last one that I did. But it was new video. It's the one with the thumbnail of her girlfriend standing in front of the cop talking trash. Yes, I lost my train of thought there. In that video, I cut out the sounds of the gunshots and everything and the sounds of the crash because, of YouTube. However, I didn't hear two things. One of those things, I didn't hear two things. One of them was the girlfriend or wife or whatever saying, "Go, baby, go, go." I didn't hear that. So she helped push her to do that. Then I also didn't hear this. I did not hear him say, after he shot her, I was like, wow. How cold was that? I'm sorry, that was cold. That was heartless. Now, I also talked to you about the fact that the man was dragged before. He's been in a situation like that before where he was dragged. Remember what I just said about you flexing your rights that day. Flexing and talking trash and all this other stuff. And that person might just be having a bad day. You antagonized a dude with an itchy gun who had been in a similar situation before. See, there's a lot of guys on the street that I tell you this, you don't know what the other dude's coming with. You just don't know. You don't know what he's got. And you don't know who's with him. You don't know his state of mind. You don't know nothing. So you should move with caution. You need to err on the side of caution when you're doing these things. And I'm saying, okay, so people say she was Antifa. I don't know if she's Antifa. People are saying she followed a lot of Antifa pages. If that's the case, I think, didn't Trump designate them a terrorist organization? So, with them calling her domestic terrorist, I guess you could, I don't have all the facts on it, but it is what it is there. I do not believe she was trying to hit him. I believe she was trying to get away and evade. I believe she was trying to run. I don't know if she was scared or not. She didn't appear to be. She seemed to be pretty relaxed and grinning. But sometimes that's the front. People grunt, smile and laugh and to play off their fear. I believe she was trying to leave. I don't think she was trying to hit him. I don't think he should have shot her. I think he moved out the way pretty well. And I saw the video where she clipped his leg. She did clip his leg. She did. It's a different perspective. She clipped his leg. And another thing, people say, "Oh, you ain't see him hit her. You ain't see her hit him in that video." What else hit him then? What else hit him? You see this car start to move. You hear the clickety clank of the clank. What hit him? Like, come on, yeah. Like, see, people reach so far. It was the car hitting him. Okay? It wasn't Captain America running through with his shield to help them catch other illegals. It was the car. You know it was. Oh, well, it didn't. You know what it was that hit him. You know what I mean? Please. But like I said, even if you don't want to sit there and believe that one, you want to get extra super technical with that, there's the other video out there that clearly shows his leg being clipped. And him all out of the way and shooting. You see it. It's right there. So, she shouldn't have pulled off. She shouldn't have been there antagonizing them. And he shouldn't have shot her. I think they were both wrong. That's my personal view of the situation. Now, you got officials out there. You got Vance. You got other people saying she tried to run him over. I don't think she tried to run him over. I disagree. I respectfully disagree. I don't think she was trying to run him over. I think she was trying to get away. So now, because of all of this, and people believing different rhetoric and whatever else the hell is happening out there, now they're trying to break into the hotel where the ICE agent is being housed. So let's take a look at this. And like I've told you before, there's some things I'll be able to show, some things I won't be able to show. Why? Because of YouTube. I was age restricted for literally just showing a ballot box that was burning around the time that they were setting the ballot boxes on fire. Remember that? I got age restricted on that. That's how little of violence you have to show to get age restricted and get issues. Okay? All right. Sorry, but I had to rant on that. People are ridiculous.
There's news. Fox News alert: an unlawful assembly declared in Minneapolis after
Unlawful.
thousands of anti-ICE protesters hit the streets in response to the fatal shooting of Renee Good. The situation turning violent, with one group attempting to breach a hotel where they believe ICE agents are staying.
Matt Finn is live on the ground in Minneapolis with the latest. Matt, good morning. What are you seeing there?
Well, Rachel, it's quiet right now, but really just a few hours ago, not far from where I'm standing, things turned violent and got pretty
7:30
dicey.
a.m.
A large crowd of protesters and rioters surrounded a hotel where they believe immigration agents are staying here in Minneapolis. Our Garrett Tenney was on the scene last night. He said a smaller group of the protesters broke into the depot in downtown Minneapolis, tossing around the furniture inside, while others were spray painting anti-ICE messages on the windows. Now, outside, the protesters were playing instruments, banging drums, and blowing whistles to prevent immigration agents from sleeping or getting rest. Our Fox affiliate reports police declared an unlawful assembly sometime around the 10 o'clock hour. Now, yesterday, body camera video showing some of the final moments leading up to that ICE agent shooting of Renee Good was obtained by Fox. Let's watch that full video.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Okay.
Talking all that trash. People talk about, oh, it's their right to antagonize them. They can, it's their freedom of speech. Like I said, remember the nature of the beast. And that beast is still human. And no matter what the law says, there have been plenty of humans on law enforcement and not in law enforcement that have said this and have done whatever the F they wanted to do. And you messing with the people with the guns. Like, I think it's almost like that internet mentality in a way. It's like there's the screen. You're behind that screen. You're anonymous. No one knows who you are. The majority of them, you know, they would never say this stuff to a person's face. But you know, they feel tough, you know, and everything behind the screen. But they're doing it in person now. And you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Like Mike Tyson said, right? They're confronted with it and they didn't have a plan at all. And if they did have a plan, the plan was to drive off. You hit the guy. You clipped his leg. Okay? He's been dragged before. He's having flashbacks possibly and goes into defense mode, offensive mode. Okay? You lost your life over something stupid. It didn't have to happen. And then I got people writing me telling me that she actually had her child taken away because the girlfriend was doing something. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm just like, man, like this is a whole recipe for a whole lot of bad that didn't even have to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now, Vice President J.D. Vance says that body camera video shows that the officer shot Renee Good in self-defense, but the Democratic mayor of Minneapolis here, Jacob Fry, he is condemning the federal agent.
He walked away with a hop in his step from the incident. There's another person that's dead. He held on his cell phone. I think that speaks for itself. I can see a person that is trying to leave. I can see an ICE agent that was not run over by a car. That didn't happen.
And it's funny, the same people I saw celebrating Charlie Kirk's death are now saying this is a travesty. And then the other side is celebrating and saying good for Darwinism. Yeah, it's what you get. F around and find out and stuff.
So DHS sources, including a senior official, tell Fox News that about 1,000 additional agents are on their way here to Minneapolis, scheduled to surge this city. There's already roughly about 2,000 federal agents that have already been here, so it's very clear that DHS is placing its focus on Minneapolis-St. Paul right now. You know, last summer I covered the raids in Los Angeles. Of course, Fox covered everything that went down in Chicago, also New Orleans. Right now, the focus is on Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Border Patrol tells me the more immigration agents that are on the ground here, boots on the ground here, that frees up HS.
I saw a dude in an interview earlier today that said, because he was asked the question, he was one of the rioters or protesters, and they asked him, well, what do you think, like, basically should be done, like, with illegal people coming here illegally? He was like, I think they have the right to be here. Okay, so at that point, you already know he don't care about the law at that point. So that gave me an even more, see, I thought they were trying to maybe twist the law or something, which is something they may be. There may be different reasoning in different people's heads for why they're protesting ICE agents coming to get people that came here illegally. They broke the law to get here, and they're protesting it, which it doesn't make any sense to me at all. But that's one of the reasons. He just doesn't agree with the law on it. You know, I'm not going to, I'm just not putting myself in any danger like that. You know what I'm saying? These protests, these riots that happen, I love, with some gray area to them, which cut and dry for me. I'm like, okay, that's against the law. Okay, well, don't do it. There you go. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Investigators to investigate the ongoing fraud. That's the backdrop of all this. That fraud scandal that we've been reporting on, that's also happening simultaneously in addition to the immigration enforcements. Back to you guys in New York.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks, Matt. And I think it's such an important point. Obviously somebody is paying for all of this stuff.
Yes.
These people are working.
So, if also, I noticed, because I'm recollecting, because I told you I read the comments. I may not see every single one of them, but I'm reading them. So some people were saying that my analogy for the crackhead thing didn't work. And I was like, yeah, it does work, because they're both criminals. Literally, they're both breaking the law. That's why it works. That's why it works. You're looking at two different crimes, but they're both criminals. Okay? Because I said, well, you're over there fighting for these people. It's like, yes, there's a lot of people that came here illegally. So they broke the law, became a criminal to get here, right? And from then on, the longer they're here, they're still breaking the law every day because they're here illegally, right? So they're breaking the law every day, but they're still good people, okay? And I truly believe that. They came here desperately, or they may have just wanted to jump the line because it was going to take too long and they didn't want to jump the line. But other than that, they're good people, you know? But then I said, well, there's crackheads out there. I knew people that were smoking it. You know what I'm saying? Selling it. Okay? They were breaking the law every day too. And a lot of them were really good people. Like, other than that vice, that problem that they had, they still did their best to raise their kids and, you know what I mean, help out the community and do this and that. They're still nice people. Had barbecues, invite people over, you know, give you the shirt off of their back, but they're still smoking crack. Okay? Two laws being broken by two good people. Okay? It's the same thing. But you don't see me jumping in front of cops to stop them from arresting the crackhead. They're breaking the law. I mean, just be a good person and don't break the law. It's just a very similar situation. It's not the same, but they're both breaking the law. They're both, you know, doing a crime.
For people, and our top priority should be finding out who it is that is funding all of this stuff. But as Matt points out,
you know, there's good people out there that pirate movies every single day. Y'all know that. Just actually, dude, y'all know it. Y'all know it, because y'all know what I talk about on this channel. I talk about everything, but I talk about gaming and I talk about movies a lot. And there's video games being pirated every day. There's movies being pirated every day by dudes that don't cause no other type of trouble, but they're doing that one thing. Otherwise, they're a good dude. They're doing that one thing every single day. You know what I'm saying? But the cops come to their house to get them for over pirating. You ain't gonna see me out there, hey, leave him alone. You're just gonna see me like, what the hell did he do? What? They got him for pirating thousands of video games and movies? Good Lord. I'd have just spent the money on it.
Crucial to understanding all of this is the fact that the timing of all this. You know, you have supposedly liberals, Democrats care about feeding the children and care about these programs that they came up with to feed children and educate children, Somali children in Minneapolis. And then suddenly, as we're uncovering billions of dollars of theft that had been going on in all of these programs by people who are connected to politicians like Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz, then suddenly all these protests break out over what appears to be an incredibly sad situation, an incredibly unfortunate situation, but one where an officer was doing nothing more than defending himself.
But it is tragic and sad, but yet you need to look at what Jacob Fry, the mayor there, says I should get the F out, and I think Jacob Fry should deal with the other F, and that are facts. Renee Good.
And by the way, you have a problem with me watching Fox? It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you why. Because ever since you guys asked me to start doing more news videos that had more to do with politics, because I've always done news videos for a very long time. It doesn't matter what news station I look at. Someone's always got something to say. It doesn't matter who it is. So I'll watch who I want to watch. Okay. So you can say that Fox is garbage. You can say that CNN's garbage. You can say NBC's garbage. CBS is garbage. Doesn't matter. You all say the same thing, no matter which one I put on. So it doesn't matter to me. Okay.
Good. This mother who has lost her life got there by inserting herself into federal immigration law enforcement. Fox has confirmed
I never
she
did
was
that.
part of a group called ICE Watch.
Yeah, and that too. Like she was trained to do this stuff, to antagonize and get in their way and stop them from doing their job. Like, I'm not going to stop nobody from doing their job. I am not going to try to stop anyone from doing their job.
Monitors, tracks, and interferes in federal immigration law enforcement with ICE on the ground. We know also through our reporting that she went to 2 other locations the same day before she got to the third one, and in both of those previous cases, she also used her vehicle to obstruct. You cannot obstruct. It is against the law to obstruct federal immigration law enforcement.
Right.
She did so by putting her car there. The second thing she did wrong is when she was instructed by law enforcement to step out of the car, she refused that, and then the third
That's
thing,
what I told
which
y'all.
Jacob Fry isn't acknowledging is...
Seen enough body cam videos where they say that's a lawful order. They're telling you step out the car, gave you a lawful order, there's an issue. I like to go home. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I told y'all to be mindful of what you're doing and to play chess and to think 3 and 4 steps ahead. Something happened to me a few years ago where I was almost arrested. And I was almost arrested because I was with somebody else that did drugs. Me and him worked together, and I knew he was always smoking weed. And he was late, like a stereotype. We were meeting up with some girls. I was there. I was talking to the 2 girls already. He pulls up, smoky car, everything. We're in a diner parking lot. As a matter of fact, for you people from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, or in that area, we were in the parking lot of Ponzio's. That's where we were. And he pulls up, parks, He's away from us, kind of under a street light or something like that. And I'm talking to the girls and everything. And the cops pull up. It was late. It was like 11, something like that, 11:30. So the cops are smelling the stuff drifting toward me and the girls. So he's asking the girls, and he's asking me. He's swearing it's me. He's trying to be my buddy, be my friend. Look, man, it's just a little bit, just, you know what I mean, just give it to me or whatever. But you know what I mean, I can smell it. Like, and I told him, I said, sir, it is not me. And after I said it's not me several times, he decided to go check dude that rolled up. And they took him to jail. Now see? Chess. I wasn't thinking chess-wise. I shouldn't have even been hanging with a dude that was doing something illegal at the time. But I decided to, because we was meeting up with some bad Jones. See? I narrowly escaped that. That's what I'm talking about. So, I err on the side of self-preservation and happiness in my life. Okay? I try to follow the letter of the law as close as possible. If I've, made an illegal turn before and didn't know, okay, I was ignorant to it. But look, if I know, I'm not trying to do it.
Used her car, speeding towards the agent, striking him, as we now see on the tape, and yet he won't do that. And the real tragedy here, Rachel, is that this dishonest mayor, Jacob Frey, is literally been saying that ICE is here to kill you. What's that done? It's caused Minnesota's public schools to believe this narrative that maybe ICE agents are going to come in this school and kill you and do something horrible, so much so that now they're going to, you guessed it, remote learning. The AP got this email from Minneapolis schools saying that Minneapolis schools are offering remote learning as tensions rise over federal immigration enforcement.
That's right. They're using this as an excuse to basically go remote and put their social justice ahead of the education of our children. Of course, this isn't the first time we've seen this. We saw this all through COVID. I want to move back just a little bit to talk about this woman who was shot and killed. We're going to learn more about who she is, what she was doing there, why she was being paid, and who was paying her to be a professional.
If I remember, I will post the link to the new video of her dancing and beeping in her car.
Protester. This is a woman who lost custody of 2 of her children.
If I don't remember, let me know, right, in the comments, and then I'll post it in the description box. I think I saved it on Twitter, so I'll post it for you. She said she lost 2 of her children.
And then dropped one off at a daycare so she could go and participate in this kind of activity, taunting ICE, interfering with these lawful operations that ICE is doing. And the questioning ICE, the daycare, so this is a woman who lost custody of 2 of her children and then dropped one off at a daycare so she could go and participate in this kind of activity.
See, whenever you hear that a woman loses custody, I remember I took a psychology class in college, and a professor was telling us, he said, the majority of the time, psychologically, it's best for the children to go with the mother. I don't know if that thought process has changed since then or whatever, but I remember that's what he told us. And I remember him basically saying, like, so when you hear about a woman losing custody of their children, something has to be wrong with her. Like, something's bad for them to give the father the children over the mother most of the time. So, and I've seen situations where, like, the father has all the means to take care of the children and he's a good father, and the mother pretty much just don't have much at all, type of thing. I've seen that happen too, where they give the father the children. But usually it's funny whenever you hear, like, if you hear about a couple, You're like, yeah, she has the kids or everything. You know, you never think nothing wrong with the dad. You never think that because the kids usually go with the parent, with the mother. But then when you hear that the children are with the father, you're like, what did she do? That's what people always say. What did she do? Why are they with him? What'd she do? Because they know they usually give the children to the mother. So for her to lose custody, that's an issue. That shows that maybe she not thinking right or doing things right. Maybe she don't make good decisions. Does that mean she should have gotten a gunshot to the face? No. I already told y'all, I don't think he should have shot her. But she wasn't making right decisions that day.
Taunting ICE, interfering with these lawful...
I'll never taunt nobody with a gun.
ICE is doing. And the question is, how did she get so radicalized? It's not just who's paying her. How did she get... What's going on with liberal white women? And by the way, these are the same liberal white women, I think, who are, moving kids to remote learning in the Minneapolis schools. There's something happening. When they poll them on happiness level, no one scores.
You know what's interesting? I see it on Twitter a lot, and I see it on YouTube videos. But it seems like when they talk about the left, seems like what I tend to hear most is that the liberal white woman is the most dangerous. I keep hearing that. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I follow politics more now than than before because of you guys asking me to do different videos and give my thoughts. But I've never done the deep dive on the liberal white woman to find out what makes her so dangerous. But I've seen little clips here and there or things that they talk about, but that's interesting. That term right there.
Lower on happiness than liberal white women. Also, no one scores higher for mental health problems than liberal white women. Right. And so there's something else happening culturally, and there's something, as you said, that's being pushed by the mayor and other leaders. They obviously have a very strong political objective. As you said, get off the topic of the Somalis and the billions that are wasted that possibly are being laundered overseas and brought back into Democratic coffers. Let's stop talking about that and let's talk about ICE. We don't know why exactly this woman was out there, but I guarantee somebody's paying her to participate in this.
So to clarify, there's a lot of reporting out there. We don't know the custody of the children.
I've never seen anyone moving a food cart before. This is my first time. It's almost like they never move. This is my first time seeing someone move a food cart in the background.
Thing is debatable. We don't know the actual facts. The facts we do know is that she belonged to this ICE Watch group, which claims to be legal observers. But if you are a legal observer in a protest, and I've covered hundreds of protests, they don't get involved. They don't insert themselves.
Dude on the left getting antsy. He ready to leave.
Details about her that we know and don't know. We do know she belonged to this group, and she was
little kid stuff.
What they wanted to do, which was ultimately to get in the way of ICE, who, by the way, has a legitimate right and obligation to be in Minneapolis because it's a sanctuary city that does not turn over violent, criminal, illegal aliens, which started to be let in mass by the millions when President Biden took over.
Can I just say this? Legal observers. Notice again when they like legal observers. Not during elections, but we'll pay you to be a legal observer and actually an agitator to interfere in this ICE thing. But we don't like enough.
Mayor Fry, who it seems to be disappointed that the ICE agent wasn't injured more. Maybe if had the ICE agent been severely injured, he would have been
and he'd been injured
satisfied
before and had stitches for this kind of behavior. So obviously he's going to be a little bit wary about it. Meanwhile, in
defend himself.
Yeah, of course, his right to defend himself.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
Good Lord. This is exhausting. This country. Good Lord, man. See y'all in the next video.